Well, Jeff Grogan, I'm going to make you a cocktail. I'm going to start by making you a cocktail.
I've been waiting for this cocktail.
And you told me that, like, all bets are off. I can do what I want.
All bets are off. You can do what you want.
Okay. Well, I don't always do this, but I'm going to walk you through it. All right. I'm going to start by showing you this. You ever had Japanese whiskey?
I have. I saw it,
Yeah. So that's called Sadashi. This is good stuff. It's not the most commonly used Japanese whiskey, but it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to make a little old fashioned. I'm gonna use that as the centerpiece though, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with a generous amount of orange. You like the flavor of orange. I remember asking you that. I don't even think you knew why I was asking you, but this is why I was asking you. So we're gonna do a good quarter of this orange, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna put it in here. And then, all right, so everyone's got preferences. My preference with an old fashioned is that we add a little sweetness to it. Mm-hmm. I don't love simple syrup unless I make it myself.
Yeah.
Okay? And even then, I don't love simple syrup that's just sugar. I want a basil flavor to it or something like that. But for this one, I'm gonna use maple syrup.
Nice.
All right? Maple syrup.
Is that from my home state?
I was gonna say, you're from the East Coast, you're from New York, so this is like home to you, right? And it's not a ton, but it's gonna take the edge off the whiskey just a little bit, all right? So, and as I said to you just before we started rolling, I have a feeling a little cardamom pod in there is actually gonna go really well. So we're just gonna break it up, chop it through just a little bit, and then just take a touch. Not a lot, just a touch. And put that right in the shaker, okay? Yeah, you can smell that. You smell the orange and the maple probably, right? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Give it a little muddle. So we're gonna break down the orange, get the oils out of the skin just a little bit. All right, now we're just gonna let that sit for a couple seconds. And the other thing I wanted to do for you is I want to smoke the whiskey. Now, yeah.
Oh,
right,
yes.
exactly, right?
I'm excited.
So, and here's the thing. I actually don't often, when it comes to this good Japanese whiskey, I don't often smoke it because it's got delicate notes.
Okay.
And the smoke can kill the notes.
Yes.
Sometimes instead, I actually smoke the maple syrup. Right? But I've experimented with this whiskey and the smoke actually works really well with it. So we're gonna smoke the whiskey for you.
Let's smoke it up.
There you go. All right. So we're gonna just get this going like that. This is cherry wood, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. And that matters. Like the type of smoke or the type of wood essence you use, it carries a lot of flavor and weight. So we're gonna make sure, can you smell that?
I can smell that.
Yeah, it gets fragrant right away, right?
I can see sitting by a fire with this drink already.
Absolutely, yes.
See how it's
because it's winter, we're here, we're in Scottsdale, but it's winter. So to get that smoking. Okay, so, and this is one of the reasons I like home units like this. I say I don't love smoking with the subtle Japanese whiskey sometimes because the notes can get overpowered.
Right.
But in this case, we're not directly smoking the whiskey, we're smoking the bottle.
Okay.
You want to add whiskey to it. Let it kind of lace it. You see what I'm saying? See where I'm going with that? Okay. So can you see the smoke that's in there?
Yeah.
Ton of smoke, right? Very, very heavy. So we'll get our bottle of whiskey ready. And what we're gonna do is just take this off the flame now, add a little bit of whiskey to it. I want to make sure there's a good pour. You got to have this the entire episode, bro. So where's my lid?
It's gonna last a little bit, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna put this over here. See all the smoke in there?
I do.
Right, so we're just gonna
I love it.
get that around there.
Look how it wraps around there.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's
So-
mesmerizing.
A couple turns,
Yeah.
the whiskey's got the smoke flavor now. And so what we'll do
That's it.
is we're gonna go ahead and add this right to the maple syrup, the cardamom, and the orange, which is already muddled, so the flavors are already kind of playing in the pool, so to speak. Add a little bit of ice. I don't know if you know this, you probably do, because you and I share a love of like craft cocktails.
Yes.
But generally speaking, bourbons, whiskeys, you don't want to shake them.
Right.
Very delicate flavors.
Right.
So we're just going to take a long spoon. And, again, we're not vigorous. We're going around the outside of the edges, and I'm mostly using my fingers to turn the spoon. So I'm just combining flavors. That's all I'm doing.
Yep.
And that's all we really want to do. We've got a little ice in there to make it chilled. Okay. And then I'm going to strain it into a single ice cube. Now, if I were to be honest, I don't even like using ice cubes at all of any kind in old fashions. I like it neat, but this might still be a little warm from the smoke. So we're going to give you a little bit That's a nice pour,
that's
bro.
a nice pour.
That's bigger than a nice old fashioned. But this is going to be a long episode, so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, last touch. You mentioned to me that you like heat.
I do.
So we're going to use some old fashioned bitters, which they carry a little heat, not too much, but a little bit, just a little on top. And those usually get stirred in. I'm not going to. I'm going to let them sit and linger just like that. And before you touch it, I got to make sure. I'm not gonna.
You're not going to say anything.
You just tell me how that is for you. Nice Japanese whiskey, a little hint of maple syrup, a little smoky, but not too much.
Oh, that's good.
You like that?
Yeah, that's really
nice,
good.
right?
Oh my God.
Hey, sometimes you just mix the right ingredients. You can pick up the smoke, right?
It's not heavy, but it's subtle in the background enough. This is good.
The thing is when you add smoke directly to the whiskey, right? So you have a smoke gun, for example.
Yeah.
To me, it's too much smoke. It takes those notes from that delicate Japanese whiskey and it just kind of moves them out of the way. But if you mix the whiskey in the bottle, just give it a couple turns, it picks up the smoke, you know?
That's good. And the bitters on top, I just got to taste.
You got to taste the bitters.
Older after.
It goes you a different direction, right?
Yeah.
So you're happy?
Cheers, buddy. Yes, I'm very happy.
Cheers to you, my brother.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, I've been waiting to talk to you for a long time. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. We've known each other for a while, 3-4 years now.
3 or 4 years.
Right?
We'll go 3.5. We'll split the difference.
Yeah, right.
But,
Why not? Right? 3.5 years. And I feel like I've known you through some big ups and downs in your life. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. 2 in particular I'm thinking of. We'll talk about them.
Yep.
But I want to reveal, I'm gonna like reveal the end. And then we'll build back the story.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very recently, and you'll give us a quantification on time.
Absolutely.
Very recently, you just got, what's the right terminology? You got a diagnostic of remission?
I got so very recently I completed lots of treatments.
Yeah.
And it's what they call it, NED, no evidence of disease.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't like that term remission.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it, but it could come back. Right, yeah.
Yeah. So NED, no evidence. No evidence.
You're good
right now, this moment, no evidence of disease.
Give us a time frame. How long ago was that rendered? By my count, not more than a month.
Not more than a month. In fact, it's probably been 3.5 weeks.
So
we'll do 3, less than a month.
I mean, God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to reveal the end now.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
So if we're going to do 3.5 weeks, we'll call it 25 days.
25 days.
25 days ago, you got the all clear.
Got the all clear.
Okay. And obviously prior to that, there was chemotherapy and then radiation.
Lots of it.
And during that time, and this is revealing the end, and we're going to go back and build the story. During the chemotherapy and radiation, you built a company that's turning out, you won't say it, I'll say it. You're turning out about, 5 figures a month of profit.
5 figures a month of profit.
While you're going through chemotherapy and radiation.
While I was going through chemotherapy and radiation.
Okay, this is why I think that's important. Okay? You're an outlier. You're a 1%er. You don't see yourself that way. I always have, right? And by the time we're done this conversation, I'm going to convince you. But here's the point. There are hundreds of millions of people in the world whose circumstances are not good. Legitimately. I'm not taking that away from them.
No.
But they believe the reality they're living and the reality in front of them, their future, even their near future, is determined entirely by those circumstances.
Yeah.
You decided to say, fuck that. I'm going to build something.
Yeah.
And it ends up being, it's not just the money, because I said 5 figures, but it's the fulfillment and the satisfaction you get from doing the work you do. And we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing work. But it's like a trifecta. It's like, it's fulfilling for you. It's contributive to the world at large. Mm-hmm. And it is more than paying your bills.
Yeah.
All built while you were undergoing, and like I'm familiar with cancer therapies.
Yeah.
Your rounds of chemo were particularly heavy, if I'm not mistaken.
They were very heavy. Yeah.
So I mean, I want to say I'm proud of you, and I am.
Thank you.
And I feel fortunate to have been along for the ride to watch it.
And I would even say I would not have gotten as far without you.
Thank you.
By my side.
I appreciate
And
that.
you were there by my side.
I really do thank you for that. But I mean, look, I might have offered the word here and there, but you did all the work. You did all the work. And that's what I want to talk about, where your mind was.
Yeah.
Where your body was.
Yeah.
And I remember distinctly having a conversation with you early on. I think it was shortly after the diagnostic.
April or May
of this calendar year.
Yeah.
And and listen, it's not verbatim, but it was, tell me if you remember this. The tonality was like, listen, bro, we're going to build something for you to look forward to. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So, I mean, look, I want you to walk us through the shadows first. The diagnostic,
Yeah.
The mentality, the emotionality. You're married. You got two beautiful young daughters. I mean, you're not talking about 23-year-old kids here. You've got very young
daughters, 10 and 8.
And is it okay if I say this out loud? This is the second time you've been diagnosed with cancer.
2 cancers, 2 separate and distinct cancers,
2 separate and distinct cancers.
all related to the same organ,
Yep.
but totally different.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Outcomes.
Right.
Or that's probably a poor word, but yes,
Sure.
2 separate cancers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the first one, I mean, you're not long past that one.
First one was 2018.
Right. So you're talking like 7 years.
7 years. It was 7 years this October.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 years. And then I'm assuming you felt clean and good to go. And then all of a sudden.
Yeah. After the first one, I thought once I've completed all that was necessary, I thought, okay, I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm good to go. But no.
Less than 7 years later. Yeah.
God and the universe had another plan for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's key on that. I mean, like, do you believe that?
I do believe that.
What's the plan?
Well, in a good way. The plan, well, yeah, gosh, my commitment to this next generation, my commitment to those who are struggling with their own kind of pain, I guess we can call pain to comfort, whatever it is.
Sure.
For me, the plan was to kind of help bring this generation back up. I knew there was a need for this.
Yeah.
It's missing out there in the world.
It is.
It's missing. There are other pieces to the puzzle for these folks, but there's something bigger missing for them.
Yeah.
And the plan was to bring this to them, to continue to bring this.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And so what you're suggesting is that you said before, God or the universe.
God.
We're going to go with that. The plan was, look, I'm going to send you this. You're going to beat it. You're going to overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that, some way, somehow, crystal clarity is going to come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's that. And I've often said this in the world of like neurology mindset. Listen, the story you tell is the truth you know. So whether anyone watching or listening right now is disagreeable or agreeable to that, it doesn't matter. That's the story you told.
Right.
That this is a necessary part of your journey.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How important was that you established a narrative right from the beginning that said, this is an important part of my journey?
Yeah. So from day one. So, I mean, I can't just say from day one. I can't pinpoint the exact time, but it was right around. I said to myself, I've been down this road before.
Yep.
I know what the bumps kind of sort of look like and what they kind of sort of feel like. That this being a new, different kind of cancer, I didn't know what the entire outcome was going to be. It was foggy at the end.
Sure.
I knew that. I knew in my heart of hearts I had a lot more to do.
Yeah.
And a lot more to offer.
Yeah.
There was a lot more of a fulfillment. And never at any time during this whole process did I ever say, I can't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I only said I can.
Yeah.
So the story you tell is the truth you know. You are not your circumstances.
Right.
Those are kind of my mantras each and every day. Some days it's all I could say was that mantra. And that's it.
Too sickly, tired to do a whole lot else.
Do a whole lot else.
But you kept your mind in check, and that matters. That matters. And that's the part I want to key in on, because you and I both know this to be true. Some people, either their circumstances or just the way, they've been conditioned to think.
Yeah.
I think it's critical that you said to yourself early on, this is part of my journey.
Yeah.
This is happening for a reason. It's a good reason. I don't know what the reason is yet, but the story I choose to tell is that this is part of my journey. Mm-hmm. And I think that 99.9% of people in the world wouldn't have had that mentality. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you automatically decided this is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you did, and I can verify.
Yeah.
Because, I think I was one of the first people you spoke to, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, other than my wife, you were like right there in the top. You were the top 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm honored. Yeah. I'm honored. Yeah. But you had that. I remember one thing you said to me. You said, I'm not done yet. I don't know if you were saying that, but I told you, I was like, I think it was a text. I read the text and started crying.
Yeah.
Because it was so emotive, how it hit me so hard. You're like, listen, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
That's a powerful mindset to carry.
Yeah. And I still feel that today. And despite where I'm at, despite prognosis, despite what the data shows, it says, it says I'm not going to last long. Right?
Really?
Just say that.
I didn't know that.
It says I'm not going to last long. Yeah. It says I have a 1 to 2 year time frame.
I beg to differ.
But I sit here today and I talk with you and I don't feel it.
Yeah.
But we all have not much time.
I want to key in on that now.
Okay.
I mean, look, I didn't know until just now that I guess the prognosis is 1 to 2 years or whatever. Listen, I don't buy it, so I'm not even giving it relevance personally.
I mention it as an aside.
Yeah.
Because if you look it up, you'll see that, boom, it popped. Dr. Google pops it right back up there. Right?
He's good like that.
But what Dr. Google doesn't understand is that we are all unique in our...
It's like a biochemical individuality.
Our metabolism and how we kind of present ourselves to the world.
Yeah.
Mindset has a lot to do with it. Genetics maybe has a lot to do with it. But it's when you don't say those things like I have more to do. It's when you buy into that story of I'm going to die in 2 years.
Right.
So I'm going to go eat Oreo cookies or whatever it is. Right. And that's fine.
Sure.
But I felt like there was this need for me to be out there.
I want to stay on this for a second.
Okay.
And I'm going to share a story with you. It's actually one I think you know. I just don't know if I told you this part of it.
Okay.
But I mean, I didn't even introduce your credentials. You're a nurse.
I'm a nurse.
You've been involved in the medical industry for a very long time.
30 years.
As a practitioner, an administrator, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious if what I'm about to tell you is something you'd seen before. Okay. Because it can get wishy-washy with the science, but I happen to believe a lot in things like epigenetics, above the genes.
Above the
right?
genes, yes.
So we're all born with a certain gene profile, but what genes get expressed in our lifetime is a matter of factors. And one of the factors is our mentality. Mm-hmm. And I want everybody who just heard me say that to stop and think it through. What genes get expressed in your lifetime are a matter of factors, but one of the most prominent factors is your mentality. If you expect to get sick, you often get sick. Mm-hmm. If you expect to be broke, you often become broke. Mm-hmm. And people think that there's coincidentals or that's woo and gobbledygook. And I'm like, no, this is straight up science.
Yeah.
You start to condition your cellular level, your neurology, your behavioral mechanics according to your expectations. Yeah. So here's an example. My dad died 2 years ago.
Yes.
Right? I know you knew that because we knew each other, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then I'd say about 8 months later, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yes.
And my brothers and I joked. It sounds like an off-color joke, but it's not. It was just like our family's a bunch of kooks who just make fun of everything, basically, right?
Yeah.
But we joked is that mom and dad were married for nearly 70 years. They were inseparable, completely in love, even in their 80s. And we joked that, well, when dad died, mom basically just gave herself cancer so she could go be with him, right?
Yes.
So, to make it a shorter story, I went home to Toronto, Canada, where I'm from. And, I stayed with mom for 5 months until she passed. But I listened to her every single day. And all she ever talked about was missing dad, wanting to be with dad, and blah, blah, blah. And I said to her one time, I said, Mom, like, do you know that language is going to be the end.
Yep.
And she, you know what she said to me? Yeah.
I do.
I do know.
Yeah, she does.
I do know. Yeah. So have you, in your medical career, did you see people talk themselves into health, out of health ever?
Yeah, 100%. So just a brief background. I briefly worked, not briefly, for a long time I worked with adolescents and young adults on a psychiatric unit.
Yep. That's tough work. Wow.
It's tough work.
Yeah.
And when I would see these teens and young adults come in, they often wore their emotions like a cloak or a blanket.
You could see it?
Yeah.
Even feel it? Could you feel it?
You could feel it. You could see it.
Yeah.
I have depression. I have anxiety. Or a better way of, in their mind is that they're looking at it as I am depressed.
My depression.
I am. It's they own it.
Yeah.
And I often would look at emotions as more so like a blanket, like you can just take it off. Like you can feel it. There's nothing wrong with feeling your emotion.
Yeah.
You have moments of anger. We have moments of joy. But these individuals seem to like embrace this diagnosis, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And then it became a part of them.
Yep.
And then trying to separate that out, it wasn't happening.
Separate it out from their actual identity.
Who their actual identity is.
That's so. You saw people identify as their illness.
They identify as their illness, and they wore it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The short story is they wore it like a badge of honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I saw it, and I could see it in so many different. Even when I was in getting my infusions on a daily basis, getting my chemotherapy back in the summer.
Was daily for you?
It was.
Wow.
So it would go. You would be on a 3-week session. So for one full week, you went in every day. Some of the days were 6 hours. Some of the days were 2 hours. Whatever the time frame was, and then you had a break for 2 weeks, and then you would go back in and do it. So I would sit in those chairs, and I used to always like to sit in front of the nurses because I'm a nurse.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kibitz, and I made friends with every single one of them.
Sure.
Right? But I would have people sitting to the left of me and to the right of me, and you could hear them talking to the nurses, and they would talk about how I'm not going to make it through this. This is the worst thing to happen to me. Yes, probably is. But there was no hope,
Yeah.
I guess.
Sure.
Faith.
I knew we were going the same direction.
Faith over fear.
Yeah.
Kind of that, like, it's easy and seductive to get washed over by the fear as opposed to the faith. And that's what I believe. That's my opinion.
Can I ask you a question? I don't mean to derail you.
Yeah, no.
You said something so interesting there. And let me bridge a couple things together.
Yeah.
You talked about the adolescents you work with, and they owned their depression, their anxiety. You talked about it almost as if you said it, in some ways it was a relief for them to receive a diagnosis.
Yes.
Became their identity. But then you used a single word, seduction. You said fear is seductive. Okay, so I'm going to go way that way to come back this way.
Yep, go
okay.
ahead.
You ever seen the movie Passion of the Christ?
Yes, I have.
Mel Gibson.
Mel
right?
Gibson, yep.
He cast a female supermodel as the devil and made her look very androgynous.
Yes.
Right? But still very feminine.
Yeah.
And I watched an interview with him, and the interviewer said, "We know the devil as scary, monstrous horns. Why did you cast such a beautiful woman and make her feminine?" And his answer, it's never left me. He said, because fear is seductive. Like if the devil didn't have seduction, then it would be very easy to ignore him.
Yeah.
But he seduces us. Fear seduces us.
Yeah.
So I like, how seductive is fear when you're sitting in a chair getting chemotherapy every day? Like, I think seduction is the right word.
I think it's 100% the right word.
Yeah.
And it's very seductive, and it's almost, what's that saying? And I don't mean to bring us too off track here, but the rooms in hell, the doors are wide open.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So you can walk in and you can leave anytime you want, but usually it's so safe, right? It's so seductive in there that most people don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And it's same is true when you're receiving chemotherapy or medical treatment. It's very seductive to be in that position.
Because you feel safe.
You feel safe.
Cared for,
Safe and cared for.
Yeah.
Right.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. And that's how I perceived it. And I could be 100% wrong. I don't know. This is my opinion. But when I looked around at most of the people, and it wasn't everybody, but the vast majority of people, I get that kind of a diagnosis. It's like,
Have you ever heard of Plato's Cave? Is that story, that metaphor?
Yeah.
It never occurred to me before how much that philosophical overtone applies on a microcosm to so many aspects of life.
Yes.
But you just opened my eyes to, do some people receive the diagnostic of even cancer and chemotherapy as they feel safe in certain aspects of it, though? And that's, I mean, the essence of Plato's Cave is that there are people who are bound to rocks. They can't move.
They can't move, right?
And they're staring at this one wall. It's the only perspective they have. And there's terrifying images being cast through fire on it. It's just shadows.
Yeah.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that.
It's demons behind them as far as they know. And there's no options. There's no opportunities. It's just a singular look at a scary thing.
Yeah.
And then the story evolves into one day someone escapes. And like when you read this story, you're building it up, and it goes a different direction because he escapes and he goes into the world for the first time. He's seeing birds and the ocean and mountains and clouds and beautiful flowers. And he's getting the aromas. And what does he do? He goes right back to the fucking cave. Because that was scary.
Yeah.
It was nothing he knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how much is that a metaphor for all of us? We go back to what we know. And even things like chemotherapy can make us feel safe. I never thought of that.
Yeah, and you have always taught. I know that you've taught this because I sat in on many of these lessons you taught. Your brain's primary goal is just to keep you safe.
Survival.
It's survival, and if all you know is Plato's Cave,
right,
then that's your safety zone. And if all I know is how to be ill and be sick, that's my safety.
God, that's beautiful the way you phrase that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, okay. So walk us through. So when the second time,
second time
you got diagnosed, I don't mean to assume. Was there immediate fear, dread?
So start of 2025, I was feeling a little discomfort. It wasn't until April, being the man that I am, that I finally decided to do something about it.
Sounds like most men. Yeah.
Did it fall off yet? No. Okay, then I'm fine.
Where's the duct tape?
So it fell off, right? And the pain was what drove me there. Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah, the pain drove me there. And I remember sitting in the urgent care and saying to the doctor, who thought I was there drug seeking, by the way.
Okay.
But that's a whole other, we'll just push that aside. And she said, well, I'll put you through the circle of truth, which is the CT scan. I hated how she put that.
Oh, wow.
It was
so like demeaning. Yeah.
But so they put me in the CT scan, and then I'm thinking it's a kidney stone. That's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a kidney stone, but it wasn't a kidney stone.
Yeah.
And when I saw the mass was about the size of probably the orange.
Wow.
That was sitting in my pelvis.
Oh.
So fear. Yeah. I said the word. Fuck.
Yeah.
Can I say fuck?
You can say fuck.
I said fuck.
Fuckity fuck. Absolutely.
I said fuck.
Yeah.
In my mind, in the back of my mind, I assumed that this was going to be a recurrence of some sort. Little did I know that it was something. So 2 weeks later after the biopsy, I find out what it really was. And then it's a completely different cancer. But yes, fear was right there. Because I don't know. And it's okay to be afraid of the unknown.
Sure.
But I think it's what drives you. So fear can either push you back, the fight, flight, right? That can either get pushed back, or I can face it.
Put you in motion.
Yeah. And I chose.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because there is a choice.
There is a choice.
Most people don't realize that.
No.
And was it Viktor Frankl in the Man's Search for Meaning?
Yes.
That said between stimulus and outcome, there's a pause. There's a choice. And most people don't exercise that choice. You did.
I did. Yeah. So I minded the gap.
Right.
Right. It was again, being that I read Viktor Frankl, I've read lots of other folks, and I knew that I knew that I was already on a path to creating and developing something wonderful.
Business-wise.
Business-wise.
Right, yeah.
And family-wise too. But business-wise, I was on a path of creating something very beautiful and wonderful. And I didn't want that to stop.
Yeah.
So I chose to have faith and to follow the steps, to go through whatever the process and wherever it brought me out at the end.
Sure.
Because I don't know where it's going to bring me out.
Yeah.
I still don't know where it's going to bring me out.
And like, we never know. I don't know. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
No.
What I have is today.
I have today.
Yeah.
I have this moment.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna take a quote from Marcus Aurelius that I know you know.
I know. Yeah.
But I'm gonna bastardize it on purpose because I want to change a word.
Okay.
But this is something for people. It's hard to get their brains around it, but you did. So what I want to know is this: you said fuck, and then how long did it take until you made a choice?
Oh.
Marcus Aurelius says, look, nothing in life comes to us preordained as good or bad, but our choice makes it so.
Makes it so.
So you made a choice, and you made it a good choice or a good thing. How long? You said fuck, and then how long until you said, look, this is what I'm doing?
It's hard to pinpoint an exact time frame, but I'm going to say it was within a few days, a week, maybe.
That's not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about the wobbles and the bumps in the road, and this is what I said. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I remember saying to my wife, "This is what it is. This is a bump in the road." Actually, it's more so she told me.
I love it. Yeah.
She reminded me that this was just a bump in the road. Right. She reminded me that we have lots of options. She reminded me that this isn't the end.
Yep.
And I think that's where most folks get stuck is they get this thing, whatever this thing is, this hard thing, and they see that as the end. It's the stop.
Yeah.
And it's not a destination, is it?
Sure.
Right.
No, right. Yeah.
It's a long road that twists and turns, and there's pockets, there's potholes, there's all sorts of things trying to get in your way.
Well, and the wobbles, I imagine chemotherapy daily that eventually you graduated from, moved into radiation. Great graduation present, by the way, radiation.
Yeah. I got a certificate.
Hey, listen, that's all I'm about. Hang that on the wall, absolutely. But you had wobbles along the way, I'm assuming.
Yeah, lots of wobbles. Hey, look, I'm not perfect. I'm not like this enlightened individual. There were days where I did want to give up.
Yeah.
And it's in the throes of, they give you a lot of medicine on your infusion day to help counteract a lot of the side effects.
Sure.
You're foggy and unclear, but when that medicine wears off after the week after you have your treatment is the worst week of your life.
I believe that.
You feel awful. And I didn't want to, I wanted to give up. And again, my wife, I remember her saying, this is just temporary. You've been through this before. You know what this is going to feel like. You know what's going to take you this amount of time to get to where you are feeling okay enough to whatever.
Sure.
And she was right. Sure enough, there I was. I felt good. And then I capitalized on those good days.
You did, though.
Yeah, I did.
Which also is a choice.
Yeah. It's a choice.
You've made a succession of good choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've always been very impressed by that, watching these last few months. Very, very impressed. Yeah. I want to get to the business that you created and how you made it profitable while you were still hooked up to IVs and varying things. Because I think that's a lesson unto itself for most people who are letting their circumstances define them.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this. You and I had a conversation not more than a couple of weeks ago. And I said, Jeff, I want to pressure you a little bit. And I want to ask you this. What are the 5 lessons you learned from going through this second round of cancer, beating it, and building a business during it that is already profitable, that are relatable points? So I listen, God bless, I've not been diagnosed with cancer before, but I want to learn something from your 5 points.
Okay, yeah.
So can we go through those 5 points now?
You absolutely can.
Let's go one at a time. We'll just kind of discuss them all.
So pain is a teacher.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pain, it could be physical pain, it could be mental pain. Well, you can even substitute the word discomfort.
Yep.
Right. So you don't have to think of it as pain, like I fractured my leg, but it could be mental anguish, whatever it is. It's a teacher. It's trying to show you something.
Okay.
So when I had my moments of pain and discomfort, again, whether it was physical or mental, I always tried to take time to kind of embrace it a little bit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Be with it.
Be with it,
Yeah.
and because it's trying to show me something.
Yeah.
Right. It was trying to show me that I am, which brings us into lesson 2, which is I am more than my circumstances.
Okay. And that's lesson 2.
That's lesson
I love
2.
that one.
Yeah, I'm more than my circumstances. So I am not cancer.
Yep.
Right. Cancer happened to me.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't. It doesn't define me.
Beautifully said.
Okay.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, please.
So when the Buddha said pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice.
Yes.
Would you say lesson 1 and 2 kind of encapsulate that? Meaning, look, it hurt.
It hurt.
And there were scary moments.
Yes.
I chose not to dwell.
I chose.
Is that a fair?
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, because suffering is almost always what we're dwelling on, isn't it?
And look, I wasn't like sitting yogi style on my bed with pillows propped up, going, I feel pain and I'm blocking it. I felt it. And it sometimes it would last for a day or 2 or 3. But I always felt like I needed to know, what is this teaching me?
What's it teaching me?
What's it teaching?
Is that a question that you would suggest people ask themselves when they're going through shit?
Absolutely. In fact, any
that's a great question.
Any one of my clients, if I lined them up right here, right now,
they'd all say, Jeff has told me
Jeff
that.
asked me this question.
What is this teaching me? I think that might be one of my biggest takeaways from this conversation, is that in moments of challenge, no matter what it is, physical pain, mental anguish, circumstances, my option is to bemoan, complain.
Yep.
I can also instead just say, what is this meant to teach me?
Yeah.
What a great way of reframing it. Yeah. And by the way, I want to just interject something. You mentioned you weren't sitting on your bed, meditating and stuff. But that's like, how do you say this properly? That's the Western frame of spirituality.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what here in the West, we've decided that, but there's a great term, we've talked about it, called spiritual bypassing. I can line up a million clients I've had who I meditate regularly. Do you? Or do you just sit quietly for a few minutes? But you can bypass the spiritual essence of what spirituality is.
Yes.
And just because you meditate, just because you do cold plunges or saunas or pray, it presence through that matters. And there's, but asking yourself a pointed question, what is this meant to be teaching me?
Yeah.
That is the essence of spirituality. Because I've always defined it as the journey of understanding yourself.
I like that. I love that.
So, I've always thought of you as a deeply spiritual man. But not in the Western framing of what spiritual means.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I've derailed you enough. What's your third lesson?
You can do hard things.
Okay.
All right. And it sounds so cliche. You see that written up on bulletin boards. One of my many jobs I have is I worked as a school nurse at a high school, right? And we have that plastered up on our thing. You can do hard things.
Yeah.
All right. But here's the thing. You can. So hard things, when you do hard things, it tells your brain that you can do the next hard thing. So I bastardized that down into 2 sentences, but that's exactly what it is. The more hard you do, the easier it is to do the next hard thing.
It is.
And I hear that a lot. It's too hard. I can't do this. It is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. And I'm not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, well, I did chemo, that was hard. So no, I'm not better than you.
Sure.
But the lesson is that if you don't attack it and come at it and do the hard thing, take the bite.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll learn how to swallow and chew it.
I always say that. We'll figure it out.
It's my favorite. I stole it from you.
We'll figure it out.
And I've used it already too, but
sure, good.
But you can do hard things.
Yeah. It's we've had conversations about cold exposure. I'm a huge fan of cold exposure, be it cold plunges, cold showers. it's considered a bottom-up neurological reteacher.
It's hard.
It can challenge the embedded neural tags that have resulted from trauma, which is a good challenge. You want to challenge those tags. So yeah, I do, anywhere between a 3 to a 7 minute cold shower every morning.
Oh my God, you're way ahead of me.
Well, that's because I started out of it in like 22 seconds. Fuck this. This sucks. But I've worked up to it,
Yeah,
right?
I worked up to it.
It's the hardest part of my day, every day.
Same.
But people don't realize your brain is an instrument that has a great deal of plasticity, which means it can evolve.
It can evolve. Yes, it can evolve.
It can evolve. Do hard things voluntarily.
Voluntarily.
They don't have to be monumental, Herculean. You don't have to, climb mountains and deadlift 600 pounds. Take a cold shower for 30 seconds every morning.
And I think that's a good way to put that too. And when I looked at my chemotherapy, and I just kind of hit me, is that I had a choice to do it. I didn't have to do it.
That's a good point.
I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Of course I could have, all the well-meaning folks who sent me emails and texts about this therapy and that therapy, right? And I love them all, and they're all very good friends.
Sure.
So I'm not going to pinpoint out the ones, but I chose to do what they call the SOC, the standard operating care, the standard of care, SOC, standard of care. I chose to do that. It was hard. I could have chosen another therapy.
Yep.
That would have been just as hard too.
Sure.
Outcome, who knows what the outcome would be? It's not about the outcome. So don't get attached to outcomes is the other one.
You can't control it.
Yeah, because you can't control it, right? You can't control it.
I also want to add your fourth rule, success, principle, thing I can learn from. I remember it. It's like something about growing. Let grow, let go.
Let go to grow.
Okay, I don't know why I remembered that one in particular.
Yeah, and again, another cliche that you can pop up on a poster on your wall, but it's a lot deeper than let go to grow. So when you have to kind of look at yourself, and this is an honest assessment of me.
Yeah.
When I went through the chemotherapy, I realized to some extent that I was going to come out of it a different person.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to
great perspective.
Yeah, I had to be willing to let go of that person.
Yeah.
All right. So whoever I was prior to April, that man doesn't exist anymore to some extent. There's pieces, there's elements, obviously, but it's my era of I don't give a fuck.
I like that.
Yeah. And a very good friend of mine told me that this is my new era.
Yeah.
Is to let go of those things that were holding me back. We can go on for hours about bound nature and free nature. I'll keep it really quick and easy.
Yeah.
I'm letting go of the things that held me back. So those are my bound nature.
Yeah.
Let go to grow.
Right.
And I'm coming out the other side different, but more beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
I could go on. I could riff on that one for a long time. But I will say this. I'm going to circle this back to something you said before. The technical prognosis is you got a year or two left. You and I don't buy that, so it ain't going to happen that way. No. But you made a comment when we were talking about that look at like, how long do any of us have left? But that's like, if I'm being held back by something, like whether I got 2 years or 20 doesn't matter. I'm still being held back.
Yeah.
So I can go, 19 more years being held back by the same thing. What you're saying is let hard things change you.
Let hard things change you.
I love that.
Yeah, let hard things change you. And that just leads us to the last one is live your life while you're living. Okay. Yeah. So, and this is so easy. I wake up each morning. We've talked about the bookends of your day, the rituals of your day, right? I wake up each morning. I'm thankful that I woke up. Okay. I breathe, I walk, I shower, and I journal. Sometimes not all in that order, but those are the 3 to 5 things that kind of get me going through the day. And then I remind myself is that today I'm gonna be a father. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be a husband. I'm gonna be a mentor, an advocate, and then I'm gonna live my life. And I'm not gonna sit there and wallow over, why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
You can,
right,
if you want to, but it's only going to hold you back.
Yeah.
So live while you're living, embrace it, all of it, the good and the bad.
So, I mean, a man who went through cancer, built a 5-figure per month company, just gave 5 lessons that are as profound as anything I've ever heard.
And it's just going to keep going.
Yeah. And it is going to keep going.
It's going to keep going. Yeah.
How was the whiskey?
Whiskey's fantastic.
Do you like all my infusions?
I love the
maple
smoke. I
syrup.
love the setup. I love this whiskey I like that's on my list. I'm
Good.
taking a picture of it.
You do?
I love the way this all came out. And look, well, did I like it?
Yeah. Stick around and make you some more.
I loved it.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.